we're going to take a look at a way to do some very specific formulas using Google Sheets. Now, something that you should have already learned is that to start any formula or equation in Google Sheets or any spreadsheet, you need to start with an equal sign. Now, if we're going to add up all these numbers, we of course need to type an equal sign in this cell, and then we need to add up the cell themselves, not the data that's inside the cell. So we would start by typing our first cell, which is B1, and then a plus sign, and then B2. You get the idea. That's a lot of work. Okay, so I've got to type each of these all the way down to B9, figure out how much money I'm spending for my monthly budget. Now notice that they're color coding, and that's essentially a fail-safe to let you know that you're in fact using the correct cells. And when I press enter, I get my number, $1,877. Now, there's also something that you can do to shorten this, and that is by simply typing the word after the equal sign, the word sum. And you'll notice that there's a whole list of different options that come up when you start typing. So if I click on sum, then I can type in the first cell that I want, followed by a colon. Now, this is all explained in this box down here, but I'm just going to do it for you. The colon means everything in between. So if I type B1, which is my first value, and my last value is going to be B9, so everything in between the B1 and B9 inclusive is going to be added together. Now, you don't have to type the end parentheses. You can if you want to. I'm not going to. I press enter, and I get the same result. Now, when you double click on the cell and you see what's actually in that cell, again, it's the sum of everything in between B1 and B9. Whereas up here, if I double click on that cell, I see it's B1 plus B2 plus B3 and so on. There's also another way you can do this. Down here in B12, if I type the same thing, equals sum, you can see I don't even have to type the whole word. I can also click and drag over the cells that I want to add together. And notice it fills in the rest of the formula for me. This time I am going to type the parentheses because that was so much less work. And then when I press enter, same result. But this time, again, equals sum, parentheses, B1 colon B9. And notice that it capitalizes for me. You don't have to capitalize unless you really, really want to. The final method of doing addition is something called auto sum. And it's actually a button that is right up here. And you can see that there. Looks kind of like a sideways M. It's actually the Greek letter S, which is called sigma. And if I click on that, I get some choices here, one of which is sum. And then all I have to do is just click in here and highlight the cells that I want to add together. And then I'm all set. Also, just so you know, you can use auto sum a different way. If I'm just going to clear these all out. If I just click at the bottom of all these numbers and I click auto sum, well, usually it works. Let me try this. I'm going to highlight the cells first. There we go. And that way I don't have to click and highlight them later. So same basic idea, but just a little bit less work. So try those out. And then when you're done with this, go on to subtraction and watch the next video.